Well, hello guys, my name is Nick from Nickstoygarage, and today we are doing a build-off against Rob from Matchbox Garage. We are both doing Golden Hawk Studebakers. I am doing a Corgi toys, and I think he is doing a Dinky Toys version of this gas thing. As you can see, the roof is just smashed in beyond belief, and it's just a broken car. It's sad, the window is gone. Well, the pillars are just, they're gonna snap. I know it beforehand. They are just going to snap. As you can see, the roof isn't even smashed in. It's also bent to the right passenger side of the vehicle. So let's start by drilling out the 3 rivets that hold the base into place. Also, I put up a new tripod for some new angles, and I used some kind of, well, underground. It's a leather cloth thingy-majig, so I have a nicer underground. If you like these improvements, please let me know in the comment section down below. Also, a link to Rob's channel and video is going to be in the description down below and on the top right of your screen right now. Next, let's take my handy dandy screwdriver, pry open the base, and it releases. As you can see, I damaged the base a little bit with my handy dandy screwdriver, but with my tweezers, with my snipper, I don't know what it's called, I just bent it back into place, and it's good as new. Just like that. Then through it to the sides. Then I have the interior, which is a nice plastic piece with the interior in place. Pretty flimsy, if you do say so. And then the windshield just releases with a nice push from the back. As you can see, it's beyond repair, it's just broken. Next, it's time to get this roof back into place, and what better thing to use than a really large hammer. No, okay, let's get a new camera angle. Let's put it in my vise and just start pounding the ever-living, you know what, out of it until it's kind of straight, I guess. So I'm going to time-lapse this one. I think this is ×4 sped up. And as you can see, I have my Nickstoygarage t-shirt on. One of one. They will never be for sale because that's mine. I love it a bit. I wear it, well, almost every video, but you will never get to see it because this is the first time I'm using this camera angle, and you'll see the back of my little workplace. It's a mess, sorry. Then I used my tweezers to get the A-pillars, well, one snapped off and one getting back straight, but the one that snapped off was just beyond repair. I'm just going to straighten it out of the car, and I just glue it back into place right here. So let's take my super glue. If I can even get the cap open, it's pretty stuck on there because, well, I haven't uploaded a video in over 40 days. Whoopsie, sorry. Then I just add some super glue to the car. No, first I have to straighten out the metal, of course, and super glue to the car, and I just super glue the little thingamajig into a place. Then I use my handy dandy screwdriver, getting the car into frame, obviously, and just bending it under the roof. There you go. Then adding it in a little bit more super glue to both pillars, because the other pillar actually snapped while doing this. Not really an issue. So just add some super glue, and then if I can get my super glue well, to stand up straight, it's pretty, it's an ass. I just smear it out with my handy dandy screwdriver, and then add some baking soda, I think it's called baking soda, to actually make a solid bond so I can sand it off later, and you probably won't really see a lot of it. So there is the powder, just smear it on right there, the baking powder, and letting it dry for a couple minutes so I can get the strongest bond possible with this super glue. So when that is all done, I'm going on to my favorite step of every restoration. That's my sand blasting cabinet. It's a bit dark because, well, I didn't turn on the light because, well, I didn't have a plug free to plug in the light, but oh well, you can see kind of well enough. I was kind of thinking, whoops, I fixed the roof and then did the sandblasting, thinking it would actually destroy the work I did from my cabinet, my super glue, but luckily the sandblasting cabinet isn't strong enough to totally destroy my hard hard work on those A-pillars. Now for some reason there is blue paint under the gold. Not sure if this car ever was blue or it was just a blue primer or was painted gold. I don't really know. Then my handy dandy screwdriver scrapes off the remainder of the blue paint that was still left on the car. And there you can see that the super glue and the soda, well the baking powder, dried out really nicely. Then next I take my file and file off the A-pillars until they look kind of decent. They will never be perfect because obviously they snapped off, they were bent. You can never get them totally straight again, but I did my best. I think this is about 5 or 6 minutes of just trying to file off the edges a little more off camera because it was quite a job. Next, it's time for primer. For primer, I'm using a fine surface primer by Tamiya, using 2 coats in total, leaving between 10 to 15 minutes to dry between coats. I know it's been 40 days, but I still kind of don't know what I'm doing. I've been doing this thing for over a year and a half and I still have no idea what I'm doing. But they're turning out decent, so I'm really happy. If you have any advice on how I can improve my videos, please let me know in the comment section down below. Also, I made a Patreon page a couple months ago. Link to that is going to be in the top right of the screen right now. You don't have to support me, but if you have anything to give, anything to support me, feel free to do. It's the Golden Hawk, so what other color I can use than gold? Well, this was a little bit of a mistake. Why? This paint takes over 24 hours to harden out. If you touch it at 23 hours and a half, you still get fingerprints embedded in the paint. So, that was a mistake, but the color turned out really nice, so I'm pretty happy. Next, I take my chrome marker and just chrome out the front bumper. I love the giant front bumper on this thing. It's magnificent. Next, I chrome out the massive grille in the front. The headlights are next. Then the trims on the side of the vehicle. And obviously, I was debating. It used to be white. Those little tail fins, but I didn't really like them in white a lot. Was debating on leaving them gold with the chrome border, but at the end I decided to just do them entirely chrome. And I actually stand by my decision. I think this thing looks amazing with the chromed out, pimped out tail fins. Obviously, I already did one side so to make sure if it was actually looking good, and this is me doing the other side. Then it's time for the final reassembly. I ordered a new windshield, so that one is going to go. And I have a bag of new tires, because the car didn't come with any tires. So 4 nice Corgi and Dinky tires. Trying to fit them was a little bit of a hassle. I should have put them in some boiling water so the rubber would actually be more soft. But oh well, I just used my chicken force to press them on. Also, I decided to leave the base in the raw metal, also the wheels in the raw metal. Why? Because I didn't want anything to be taken away from the gold paint. And I just think it looks really good in just the base metal color. So next, at this point, this paint is still drying, so I have to be really careful not to get any fingerprints on it. So I use the palm of my hand to squish in the windshield. The roof is not perfect, like I said before, so the windshield isn't a perfect fit, but it's good enough for me, and I'm really, really happy with the end result. So one more solid push, and the windshield just snaps into place. I also had to, off camera, before I painted it obviously, hammer the, I think it's a C-pillar, because the roof and the back was also really bent. I think an elephant stepped on it probably. Next, the interior goes into place, and then obviously the base snaps back into place. So let's take a look at it before the restoration with my nice new background. It's that leather again, just pulled up. When it was still, well, missing wheels, flaking gold. The roof was bent, the A-pillars were bent, the glass was gone. It was just a right mess. And let's take a look at it after the restoration right now. I want to personally thank Rob for this opportunity of this build-off. I hope his build did go as good as mine did. Please leave a like and subscribe to both channels, and hope to see you in a future video. Bye. And like always, I want to give a special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Thank you very much.